Hi guys. Hey, can you hear me? Let me see. I'll move this microphone really quick, a little closer to where I'm working. My computer desk is next to my art desk, so yeah, I'm working on beef law slowly because it's the lowest priority of what I'm currently working on, but it is coming along nonetheless. So SDA is here. Hello, SDA, and I am here. I'm working. I'm just putting my gloves back on. I'm setting up the computer and all that. So Tom Anacleto says, gents. And yeah, so I'm just working on it here. I was just waving my hand there to show you that something is actually happening here. Merry Christmas, Gabe, and have a prosperous Commerce New Year. Yeah, well, thank you, 0311 AL Manual. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, so I'm just working on this big old knee to the face like that. It's pretty good. I like referencing like kickboxing stuff and other martial arts things. I look up. I hope my hair's not in front of the camera, but I think I'm in a good spot here. So I'm just going to go from here. But I'll do a little bit on here. We'll see how it goes. See if I can keep up with the chat while I do this. I'm using microns. I was using a Raphael brush. Not a Raphael. It's a Winsor Newton Kolinsky. But I was so out of practice, I didn't like how it was coming out. So I switched over to some micron pens. I've been thinking of getting some. Let me go down one size. I'm going to go from a 3 to a 2. I was thinking of getting some of those Copic multi-liners, like Ethan uses them and stuff. And I don't know, they're quite expensive. And I have boxes and boxes of these Pigma microns, so I feel like I don't actually need to buy multi-liners. Now, it is all a tax write-off, so who the hell knows? Let me see. Hi, Gabe. Drawstream, cool. Hello. All right. Yeah, good to see. And that's Lord Nemesis. Yeah. So we got, just so you can see here, we got this Maximilian Volkov giving the nice turbo knee right to the flying knee right to Goliath's face. Yeah, the book starts off at an amazing pace, just with an insane about 6 page. Oh, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. About a 6-page fight just to set the tone. Just so you guys know that I mean business. You know, just so you know what you're in for when this book starts. So, now usually I don't like to get into any detail until I've done the silhouettes on things. But, you know, it's a little different when you're drawing here. Soon what you're drawing will be in hands and my eyes enjoying your creation and my brain getting blown because of how well written it is. Well, thank you very much, 0311 AL Manual. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I spent all morning writing Oath, Blood, and Bone for Philippe Briones to illustrate, and he showed me some stuff, guys, and it looks amazing. It really does. I think I'll be a little light on videos the rest of the week. No father-daughter dance the rest of this week, I don't think, and I think I'm done with streams the rest of this week, except for this one probably. Maybe I'll do another ink stream if people like it and people watch this. But I usually don't like to fill in areas with the pen, but kind of wasn't thinking. I was just kind of on autopilot there for a second. Usually I like to fill that in with a brush later. What up, Gabe? Love the art I'm seeing. Hail the chat. That's Alankam Amir. And the Ragu Overlord says, Merry Christmas, Fro. Merry Christmas, Fro, to you too. I don't know what that means. I'm sure it was a typo or something. But yeah, we're having a good time. We're ready for the holidays, as they say over in merry old England. Some people say they can't do this though. They can't draw stuff and listen to stuff at the same time, which I find strange because to me it's a different part of the brain. I've listened to and understood so many books while I've just worked and colored so many pages for DC and all that. It doesn't seem to bother me, but some people they can't. They don't like it. I have those drawn to life books from the DC the Disney like master illustrators, and one of the guys, I forget which one, he's the 9 old men. Is it the 9 old men? I hope I have that number right. He talks about how when you're working to work in complete silence, and he kind of ridicules anyone that would listen to anything while they're working. You must have complete focus. Now, he's a master, right? He's one of the Disney old men. I don't remember which guy said that. But I would say it doesn't apply to everyone. I like listening to things while I work. I like talking while I work. I find it to be quite fun. The regular overlook says, Merry Christmas from your new friend. Well, thank you. And let's see. Hail, Gabe, and Merry Christmas all, says Scottsley. And 0311 AL Manual says, drooling at the art I'm watching. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I have such a passion for action stuff. It's so aspirational. You know what I mean? Like to be a little boy and to see men and women and just people being heroes. And you say, oh, I can be brave. That's what you learn from it. This is why we don't like SJW art because at its heart, it's anti-aspirational. SJW see people doing good and they wickedly say, how dare someone achieve something and it not be me? That's why Deion Sanders, the great NFL cornerback, he famously said, they don't boo nobodies. You ever notice haters don't hate on little, not as successful things? Right, because they're really jealous of the majorly successful. They can't fathom the idea that someone besides them is allowed to have anything and enjoy life. So, and that's just wicked. That's just evil. So, yeah, I don't care what they have to say. But I want you all to be excited about the holiday. You know, it's I fucked that one up. Oh, well, that's okay. It's small. Nobody will see that screw up. I was thinking of using a French curve right there, and I was like, nah, I can pull that one off. And I couldn't. And the reason I couldn't pull that out, this tip's going bad. You could feel it in your hand when the tips are going bad. You could feel it doesn't have this nice tooth to it. When it's good, it drags on the paper in this nice way where it helps you control it. You could feel it dragging. When the pens start to go bad, they can go out of control and stuff, and you can feel it start to happen. So you got to throw them in the discard pile. Let me check on the chat here real quick. Only 2 days away till we close down the curtain on 2021. Bobby Campbell, a.k.a. The Oracle, Beard Gazatron. Any Johnny Cage splits to groin punch action and beef law? Yes, only Johnny Cage splits to the groin. We're going to have that for sure. I mean, frankly, I'm a little insulted you would ask me that. Just kidding. Kidding. Of course, we're going to have things like that, you know, because this is 90s action over the top. So, yeah, I hope you're all doing good. I hope everyone out there is happy and healthy. And if you can, do a kindness for anyone because it's the holiday season. If you have the opportunity to do it, please do. That's the Bible, I'm Christian, and no, I'm not better than you. I am a sinner with a capital S, but I'm not afraid to talk about my beliefs. And it does say to give and like keep it private. Don't give and brag. So I won't tell you anything I have or have not done. But that is one of the true joys of the season is to really help someone. And we should be probably be much more mindful of that all year. But it is one of the joys of this time of year is to just get into the spirit of giving, you know what I'm saying? And helping people out who might need it. So if you can, please do. I would love to imagine that you're doing that, but keep it to yourself. We don't give for fame and accolades and all that. We give so we can just do God's bidding and help people out. You know what I mean? People need it, man. People out there, they're suffering and you don't even know sometimes. People are going through some stuff. I saw a rehashing of the Chadwick Boseman story where he died of cancer and no one even knew he was sick. And people saw some photos of him all skinny last year. Were really making fun of him on the internet. Like, oh, what's wrong with this guy? And they find out he was dying. And, I don't think anyone made fun of him for being skinny when they knew he was sick, but geez. So there are people out there going through a lot. And if you have a chance to help someone, please do. Please do. So let's see. Let me check on the chat here. Geek Avenger, hi Comics Gate, Merry Christmas to all on Christmas Eve squared. And that is from Geek Avenger. Gabe, what would have been an alternate title for Beef Law? I don't know. That was the first title I came up with, and it just stuck. I loved it. I heard we were talking about ribs online, and I was arguing that beef ribs were better than pork ribs. And I said, beef is the law. I said, pork is trash. Beef is the law. And someone in the chat said, beef law. And I'm like, that is an amazing name. And I had really had Van Damme and things like that on my mind and like a 90s action crime thriller. And my wife's texting me. I'll have to check that in a minute. And it just stuck. You know what I mean? You see that heavy shadow I painted in there? How much weight that gives it. And this eraser is pretty good. It can get some light ink smudges off. I don't worry too much about the ink smudges. I used to be very much a stickler about like having perfect looking art. And I just realized that's folly. That's really stupid. And you're missing the forest for the trees when you do that. It doesn't matter if it's like totally clean or perfect or whatever. It's handmade. You know, what can you expect? And plus, if there's some really bad mistakes in it, you can always take them out in Photoshop. You know, there's that whole cleanup stage. So yeah, this pen is fantastic. It has that feel on its tip. For those of you that make art, you might know what I'm talking about. But I was saying earlier, you can tell when these pens are going bad. You know, and you know, I'm a big, strong guy, so I wear these things out pretty quick. You know, so I think most people looking at me just on the street wouldn't guess. They wouldn't guess artist. They might guess professional cage fighter, high school football coach, things like that. I'm a big man, and that doesn't mean a fat man. I'm not a big fat guy. I'm a big strong guy. You know. So let me check on the chat here. Oh, Sauce. Hey, Gabe, and everyone else. Just wanted to say hi to everyone and Merry Christmas. Aaron Johnson. I stay away from social media because it can always be toxic. I agree. Let's see. Geek Avenger. Why fight it? There was nothing wrong with the title. And Joseph Ippolito. Hey, Gabe. SDA. LOL needs a t-shirt. Who needs a t-shirt? What are we talking about? Lord Nemesis, Mr. Marcus Cullen. Capital S Center confirmed. Yeah. Sauce. I tried beef ribs, and it tasted really foreign to me. It was tough and off flavor, probably because I was so used to pork ribs. Well, I don't know who cooked yours, but they were awful. Not the person, the ribs. If you get beef back ribs, those big ones, the size of a shoebox, giant ribs, it will change your life. All right, you put those in a crock pot for about 3 hours. You don't even have to really do a barbecue smoker. If you just go in a crock pot, they will be falling off the bone in 3 hours. I still have 2 in my fridge right now. We always seem to have some ribs going at the house here. That is a staple of my diet. My dad is Muslim. I am Christian, but my dad's a gourmet chef, and he always cooked a lot of delicious food growing up. So I didn't even know people ate pork ribs until I was older, because my dad doesn't make any pork, because of his religion. So I was in middle school or high school when I found out people ate pork ribs. When I heard people talk about barbecue ribs, I just assumed they were talking about beef ribs, because that's all we ever had. So sorry you had bad beef ribs. I will implore you to try it again. You can't get everything right on the first try. But I hope you're having a good lead up to the holiday, to the holiday. That's just one of those words that lends itself to a British accent. Let me check on the chat again. Oh, we have a super chat from 0311 AL Manual. A little gratitude for what you do in the chat. Hey, thank you so much. SDA says beef law. That's right, damn it. Beef law. Beef law. I like my slogan that I came up with. Beef law is coming. No one is safe. All right. I have a lot of fun on here with you guys. It's so freeing to be doing this, but yeah, gratitude. I was let me see the chat here. David Brohawk Williams, use a brush, wussy. Well, what do you think this is, you bigger wussy? And the microns are better. Use what works is what I would say, Dave. If you got to use a paper clip, if you got to spit on here and rub your fingers on it, crayons, whatever, just get it done. That's all I'm saying. Get it done. I could care less what anyone uses. It's funny, though, we do get territorial about stuff in a weird way. Like, people will argue, like, Nintendo, when I was growing up, it was like Nintendo versus Sega, right? If you had a Sega, you were one of the weird kids, because everyone had a Nintendo, including me. But there was always that one kid that played Sonic the Hedgehog and Altered Beasts and all these weird games. And then, as my son's generation, it's like, oh, you're either a PlayStation guy or a Xbox guy. We're an Xbox household because I really liked Halo when I was in college about 20 years ago. That's hard to believe. I really loved Halo. So for my own, I bought myself a college graduation present in 2004. I bought myself a Master Chief Edition Xbox. I don't know if it was a 360 or a regular Xbox. I don't remember. But I went home and played it for so long. A little smudgy ink. I got a headache playing Gears of War 2 or 3 or something. I was playing that forever. Sauce, how did your dad react when you started eating pork? Well, my parents divorced when I was little, and I don't eat pork in front of my dad. That'd be very disrespectful. So I don't do that. I don't bring it up. I don't talk about it. One time I screwed up. Hold on. Let me take a drink here. One time I screwed up, and my dad asked me, "Hey, what are you doing, son?" He called me on the phone. I just had finished working out, and I was having lunch. And I was like, "Oh, I'm just having my lunch." And I try to eat keto a lot, so I, keep the carbs, keep the weight off. I said, "Oh, I'm just having my lunch, some bacon and peanut butter." And he's like, "Bacon?" Blah, blah. And then he had to go. He had to go like right away after I mentioned bacon. So yeah, it did upset him actually. So yeah. Oh, David Brohawk Williams is saying use a crayon, wussy. How dare you, David? How dare you? There are big muscle guys in martial arts. One style that works well for big people is Hungar Kung Fu. Look up Donald Hamby, and you'll see what I mean, Geek Adventures says. Yeah, our main hero, Max Volkov, he's a big guy. He's like 6'2", but this Goliath guy's like a 7-footer that he's fighting in this. It's one of those smoke and fire factories. You know how in those Seagal and Stallone and Van Damme movies, they seem to just be in these factories where they only make smoke and fire. They don't actually make a product. So yeah, that's where. So he's a normal big guy. He's like a 6'2" guy, but Goliath is he's a Goliath. You know what I mean? So here we go. Here's some more. Let me check on the chat again, and I gotta grab another pen. But yeah, David calls me a wussy for using a brush. I got this brush. It was like either $30 or $50 right here. This Winsor Newton Series 7. This is like sable hair, which is it's this rare squirrel like from Russia. And they're fantastic brushes, but this one's a little too plump right here. The way I like to use a brush is I have this technique where I do this chisel side move, and I get the brush on here. Let me see if I'm in the frame. And I like to, look at a really, really tiny tip on there. What I like to do with the brush is get this, bend it to just get a little tension, and then I can go sideways and get this chisel move going. And this brush is a little too bouncy. So it was going out of control, and I didn't like some of the textures I was getting on the front of his face here. It was getting a little wiggly, and I haven't used a brush in years. I've been using Micron since forever. So I'm like, I'll put the brush away and get back to the Micron. And I'll just have to work the brush into my routine slowly. Let me check on the chat here. Do you like 70s and 80s Kung Fu movies like the Shaw Brothers movies? They made over 10,000 movies. That's insane, 10,000 movies. I don't know a lot of them. It's a little before my time. I watched everything of Bruce Lee except Game of Death. I couldn't get through it. Game of Death is so bad. And it's nobody's fault. I mean, Bruce died. So they had to, they had to do what they had to do. And oops, I just knocked the thing down holding my phone. Hold on. I'm going to try and have my phone in one hand right here and look at the chat and then be inking in the other. So I'm just going to arbitrarily start right here on Goliath's arm. And Wu-Tang channel on YouTube. So many movies. That looks awesome. Mr. President Max Volkov is on the case. You damn right. Yeah, this is going to, oh God, this is just a thing of beauty to me, the way this pen feels in my hand right now. And for those of you that make comics, you know what I'm talking about. You can feel it. You can feel the way it drags on the tooth of the paper. You got to have the right paper too. And this is Strathmore Bristol board, which is a pretty good paper. It's very common. Whenever you go to the art store, it's the yellow stuff. What was that commercial from the 90s where they're going through the fridge? Those like teenage extreme kids. Like, what do we got? We got like Coke, orange juice, purple stuff. And it became like a running joke to talk about purple stuff. And I don't know. But yeah, beef law is coming. No one is safe. That's what we like. This is interesting to hold the phone in one hand so I can read the chat and hold the pen in the other. This is interesting, guys. I don't know how long I can hold out here. But yeah, I'm breaking one of my rules. I'm filling in with the pen, which I usually don't do. And yeah, let's see. Oh, I got to take advantage of this. This pen has such great tooth. It's agreeing with the tooth of this paper so well. Oh, I love this. This is such like art nerd stuff. I'm in love with how this pen is working right now. Let's see. Which one you like better, traditional or digital? Traditional. What kind of question is that? The art made digitally can look just as good as traditional. It can. There are tons of advantages to digital art. In a way, it really is superior to digital art just as far as a business thing goes. But for digital art, there's no original piece. Paco Medina is an amazing, top level illustrator from Marvel. He's doing a lot of great, amazing work on X-Men right now. And he draws digital, and I see him put up on his Instagram or somewhere that you can get an original one-of-one print of his work. And I think that's legitimate. You know what I mean? I think that's totally legit, where he's going to print, and I believe that's what he's doing. I hope I'm not misrepresenting him. But I believe what I've read is he's taking his digital inks that he does and doing like a, I don't know if it's on glissé paper or what it is, like archival quality paper. And he's just doing a one-of-one. So you're going to pay real prices for those. But it's probably remarked. That means it's, signed and maybe a little sketch on it. But it's probably remarks, which would be a smart idea for him to do that. And it comes with, I think, again, I don't want to misrepresent the guy. So if I have any of this wrong, I apologize. But I think they come with, certificate of authenticity and basically it's a one-of-one. He's going to print it once and they swear, like legally, I think legally, that's just the one time that page will be printed. So let me go down in the chat here. Well, David's trying. Happy holidays to everyone in the chat. God bless. God bless you too. Hey, and anyone out there, speaking of God bless, if you pray for Minnie, my co-star on Father-Daughter Dance. She's got the sniffles. She had a COVID test. I don't know if it's positive or not, but, she was feeling pretty crappy yesterday. She was feeling better today. She's been around the house and stuff like that. So just pray that she's healed and that God protects the LTAID household from illness and all that kind of stuff. But we're still all very happy and in the Christmas mood. So, but just pray for Minnie. She's out of the comedy club, is exposed to a lot of people. She's only 24, so she's going to be fine very soon, I'm sure. But she just wasn't feeling good and, had the chills, had the fever, had the stuff. And she went and took a test today. And so if you're out there and you pray for Minnie to be healed, please. I would appreciate that greatly. But we've been taking care of her. We've been trying to take care of her, trying to keep her in good spirits, So it's that time of the year where we all want to have a great time together. So let's see. That pic you're working on reminds me of Anderson Silva and or Ongbak. Ongbak is fantastic. That's what Geek Avenger said. The Ragu Overlord was hidden by Gabe Eltaib. No, I must have done that by accident. How do I undo that? Hey, Ragu Overlord, I hid you by accident. Oh no. It must have been how I was holding the phone. Shit. Hey, dude, I'm going to figure out how to get you out of jail here. I don't know what I did. I'm really sorry. If anyone knows Ragu Overlord, tell him it was an accident. Because I'm holding the phone in one hand and not looking. I'm not looking at it. I accidentally hid Ragu Overlord. I did not mean to do that. Dang it. I wasn't looking at the phone. I was looking at the drawing. I sincerely apologize. I hope being hit from the channel is temporary, and if it's not, I will get to the bottom of it when I end the stream. That was poor customer service on my part. Very sorry. Comment says you need to get phones. I have all kinds of stands in here, but it's holding the camera now. And yeah, I had it on a little stand on my desk, but I was like, I had to keep leaning over to look at it. But you were absolutely right. I need a better solution. This is sort of like an ad hoc thing right now. LOL Geek Avenger. I'm coming up on Twitter. 11 followers now in 3 days. I'm famous, is what Ibex Universe says. TBG art animation. Your art style reminded me of the Malibu's Mortal Kombat. Malibu had a Mortal Kombat. I did not know this. I bet it was just fun. I don't know who I look like as an artist. I have no idea. I always copied all kinds of artists I liked. So I don't know what this style is. I don't know what this style is. Dan Fraga said I drew a face that looked like Michael Golden. I don't see Michael Golden in my work. I don't know. My favorite artists are like Jim Lee and Arthur Adams and Travis Charest and some other people. And I don't think I look like them necessarily. I mean, I do have a 90s sensibility in my art. A lot of rendering, But I always want to get away from the rendering. I don't want to over-render things. Because I know when you over-render stuff, it just gets all scratchy and you screw it up. And so I definitely don't want to do that. So I don't know. Right? This character is straight Liu Kang is what Ibex Universe says. Yeah, this is man, thinking of Mortal Kombat brings me back to the night I really met my wife. I met my wife at church when I was in 10th grade. I met her out in the parking lot. But I really met her on a church ice skating trip. We went to the UTC Mall. That's the University Town Center Mall in San Diego. UTC is like the really rich area by UCSD, the university there. It's La Jolla. It's like the richest zip code in America. Mitt Romney has it. You know that famous picture of Mitt Romney pumping gas right after he lost the election to Obama? That gas station is like 3 blocks from Wildstorm, where Wildstorm was in La Jolla. I would walk by that gas station all the time. La Jolla is a very wealthy place. So anyway, I met my wife at church, but later, recently, soon after I met her, I think we went on a church ice skating trip at the UTC Mall, and I remember playing Mortal Kombat in the arcade in front of her and trying to use Liu Kang to like impress her. That night, she tripped and fell ice skating, and a girl skated by and ran her finger over with the ice skate and slashed her right at the nail bed. It was horrific. It's really terrible. So, yeah. Let's see. Malibu is a comics published MK, and yeah, I know Malibu Comics, sure. TBG Animation. Your art style is great. Thank you very much. Leg Kick One says, hey, hello. And here we are. Yeah, I got to find out how to unhide Ragu Overlord. This is terrible. If anyone knows him, tell him I am sorry. We love having him here. Oh, what a thing to do. What a thing to do. Yeah. So, are you guys off work yet? Or do you still have like work tomorrow and stuff? I hope you're off work soon. This guy has like biker mutton chops. But this face here was actually, I'm going to set my phone down on this stand again. I have this stand here. I can put it on this stand and then just set it here next to me and then just check it intermittently. That's what I got to do, guys. This is a 2-hand job. A 2-hand job? That wasn't supposed to sound like that. Oy. This face right here of Goliath going, ugh, that is a photo I took of myself because I was having a little trouble with that. I keep a handy dandy Jose Luis Garcia Lopez cheat sheet with me. I'll show it to you guys in just a second. It's really helped me. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, for those of you that don't know, he's still around and does art occasionally. But his heyday was like, I think the 60s, but definitely the 70s for Marvel. And all those like style guides and whenever you see like a Superman on a coffee mug or a t-shirt or whatever, so much of it comes from his style guides. And I found this on the internet and printed this out. And it's just Superman's head from every angle. So I've used this plenty when I've been drawing. You know what I mean? Just to get his sense about it. He's just such a great classic comic book artist. So yeah, I would encourage you all to constantly, I'm going to go a little smaller. This is a 3. I'm going to go down to a 2. The bag, borrow, steal, whatever you can to get your work done. You know what I mean? Because it's about getting it done. Ethan said once, like if you're doing a crazy, like a skyline on a city or something like that, go ahead and get a photo of that city and trace it. And I don't disagree. If your deadline is crazy, go ahead and do that. If you want to like measure everything and do it like organically and draw the city by looking at it, referencing it, that's totally awesome too. And that's maybe a little bit of a more legit way. But yeah. I would say if you need to save time and trace a motorcycle, like you don't want to sit there and plan it all out and figure it out, then do so if you're under the gun on a deadline. It is more rewarding to challenge yourself and figure out how to do those things without heavy reference. But, I mean, no one knows how to draw anything unless they see it. So even if you're drawing it from your mind, you're still referencing it out of your mind. You know what I mean? It's not like we create anything. We just manipulate things. So let me see. Let me catch up on. Good way to get those sternomastoid muscles right. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but yeah. Yo, chat. Hi. No, says. Ragu Overlord, you still with us? Yeah, someone tell Ragu I freaking accidentally silenced him on here because I was holding the phone in one hand and then drawing with the other. Oh, so dumb of me to do that. But, accidents happen. Poe Buddy's perfect. See these little fine details. It's hard because I'm trying to get you guys this angle so you can see it all. And I'm trying to hold it in such a way And this will teach me to draw on paper this big. Hey there, someone's coming in my office.
Hi.
Hey, hon, I'm doing a live stream, but it's fine that you're here.
Oh, I even checked the door to see if you had recording.
No, it's fine. I'm just drawing live for these guys.
Oh.
So what's up?
Nothing.
Oh.
Just kind of say hi.
Yeah.
What's the chat say?
Oh, no. Brought him back. Hey, Regu Overlord, I did not mean to ban you from the channel. I was holding the phone in one hand, and I was drawing with the other, and I didn't see what I was doing. So it put you in timeout. Total mistake. Sorry.
Oh, no, has a wrench.
Yeah, I gave him a wrench because he or she...
Go ahead. Your first super chat.
He gave me my first super chat.
Yay! And is it na.
You gotta say the rest of it.
Batman.
Don't touch me. These are tiny.
Oh shoot! Sorry.
Tiny hair-like details. Not hair-like. They are hair. Yeah, she likes to touch me when I'm doing tiny little millimeter details like this. You don't want to mess up a man's mutton chops.
Oh my gosh! You told them the story about running over my finger.
Yeah, someone mentioned Mortal Kombat, and I was telling them that was the first time I'd seen Mortal Kombat.
My nail grows crooked now, but it's fine.
I have a crooked fingernail, and I'm sorry I have 2 millimeters of white on there. I usually have my nails trimmed down to the pink. I know that's gross. I have a crooked nail from a table saw accident. So, yeah. So that's that.
Yes, but it's all better. And Minnie is on the mend. She wasn't doing well, but...
I told them.
Yeah, because it says... Is it 0311?
Yeah, 0311 Ale Manuel. Yeah, that's 0311 is a rifleman.
Right.
In the Navy, I think. I hope I'm right about that.
Manuel or Manuel. It was bad. I walked off the ice and blood was just dripping from my hand. But it's fine. I didn't get stitches or anything.
The question of that night is, were you impressed with how I could play Mortal Kombat?
Yes, honey. I was very, very impressed.
I had never played it before. And someone told me if you hit forward kick, Liu Kang would do his bicycle kick in the air. So I was just doing that over and over again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who me? Sup, everyone. Let's see. Oh, Manuel then. He says it's my pick, which way I want to say it.
Yeah. You're going to have to hold on.
Oh, sorry. I can't read the chat anymore. Merry Christmas, you guys.
I covered the phone with my drawing paper here because the way I had to lay it on my table. Yeah, I really like, I was very hesitant to draw in blue pencil because it wasn't the way, I want to draw it in lead, regular lead, and then ink it. And when you erase this stuff, you got to go back and re-ink. It's horrible because you have to erase to get rid of the gray pencil, or else when you scan, there's going to be gray picked up in there. The blue will not get picked up by the scanner. So that's why I switched to blue, and I hated it just because we get stuck in our ways. I've been drawing with a pencil since I was 3 years old or something, and I wanted to draw these comics in just regular pencil, but I just had to tell myself, it doesn't matter. So I really love drawing hair. My wife says I draw it very well. I learned from an issue of Wizard magazine, Kevin Maguire, the old Justice League International artist, and he still works, on different things, this and that, mostly for DC. And he really does the best facial expressions in comics. If you look at Kevin Maguire's work, he can do a facial expression pretty easily with very few strokes. He can convey all kinds of different emotions. But he had a segment in the basic training part of Wizard magazine that they had. Remember Bart Sears used to do Brutes and Babes, and Dale Keown did a really great piece in there. How great is it that Dale Keown's doing the Salamandroid book for Ethan? But to get to my point eventually, Kevin Maguire had this segment on how he rendered hair, and it just stuck with me forever. And I never forgot how he did it. So that's how I do it. So I do copy him, but his intention was for people to learn his method and copy him. So yeah. What are you doing?
TBG Animation says, my wife bothers me when I draw.
Good.
It just makes me laugh that I'm bothering you.
Yeah, icky girls bother us. Yeah, I think I'll finish this guy's head and then I'll check on the chat and then I'll get out of here. Unless you want to read some of the chat for me.
Ibex Universe said, where do you find the blue pencils? I hate when the pencil doesn't erase all the way and has smudging.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. This thing is a chunk of shit. The Prismacolor Color Erase Blue. Throw them in the trash. I have a huge box. I need to just give them to a kid or something. Or would that be mean to the kid? This thing, Pilot Color Eno. It's like $10, $5 for this thing. And these LEDs, this is 0.5 millimeter soft blue LED. This thing is amazing. Get this thing. They come from Japan. They don't sell them in the States, I guess, or at least when I went on Amazon, they came from Japan. It was the cutest thing. The shop in Japan that sold them to me, in the box of supplies, look what was in there. They put an origami crane in the box of supplies. I taped it.
See it.
Oh, can't see it? Here, is it in front of the camera?
No. Oh, wait, yeah, it is.
Oh, there's just lag. My wife's saying we can't see, but it's because there's lag.
Sorry.
Yeah. She doesn't realize the internet isn't instantaneous. There was a little origami crane in the box of stuff. And I put it up on one of the speakers for my sound system in my office right above my drawing desk. So do not get the Prismacolor Color Erase. Garbage. Basura. Trash.
He wants to know, Ibex Universe wants to know how do you spell it?
Oh, which one? The one you want to buy. This is Pilot, Pilot, like an airplane pilot, and it's color, then Eno, Eno. And it says 0.07 on it. Oh, maybe these are 0.07 LEDs. These are, Pilot 0.07 Neo X color. Okay, they're soft blue, 60 millimeter. Okay, 60 millimeters long and then 0.7 millimeter wide, soft blue, and it's also from Pilot. It says Pilot right there. So I'm using Sakura microns to ink. I'm using this Pilot here. And you guys saw this earlier, but I didn't name it. This is a Pentel pocket brush. You can pick these up dirt cheap, again, on Amazon. Or Jet Pens is actually cheaper than Amazon, I found. Pentel brush pen. These things are actually fantastic. And then if you really want to get into it, get one of these. I got to get back in practice. I told you I was using this earlier and it wasn't working good for me because I'm so out of practice. Winsor Newton Series 7. These are like $30 to $50. These are literally handmade by like 20 people in England still. Queen Victoria commissioned her kingdom to make the world's finest paintbrush like 120 years ago. I'm not even making that up. And that's where the Winsor Newton brushes come from. These are literally hand assembled and glued and all of that. I watched a documentary on it on YouTube. It's fascinating. So that's why they're like 30. And if you get to the bigger ones, they can be, over $100, $200 a piece, these brushes, because they're handmade. So.
Are those mechanical pencils, the Pilot one?
Yeah, this is a mechanical pencil right here, guys. So it's a 0.7. See the lead coming out there? I don't know if I'm in frame. But it's a 0.7 millimeter. Yes. And it draws good. It's got a nice buttery tip and it erases good. It comes right off. Oh, and then the last thing, this is a Sakura Sumo Grip eraser. Find these online, and it's a new polymer they invented about 3-4 years ago with these micro beads in it that get in and pull the lead out without tearing up the paper. It's similar to that Mr. Clean Magic Eraser they have for around the house cleaning. It's a similar technology to that, and you can really clean stuff up and not eat up your paper. It's really nice. So that's what we're using today. So any other questions?
Manuel just said, SJW sees your art and asks where his organs. Well, us be like, and then he put a smiley face. SDA said, could clip this as a tools of the trade video.
I don't care.
Let's see.
If you ever clip anything of mine, just credit me and link them back. I can always use new subs and but yeah, I don't really care.
The Ragu Overlord says, remember Kenneth Rocafort getting fan art published in Wizard?
I don't, but I remember J. Scott Campbell getting his entire video game concept made up, published in Nintendo Power. If there's like a 1987 or 88 issue of Nintendo Power where J. Scott Campbell made up a like horror style platformer video game for the 8-bit Nintendo. As like a teenager, he made it. It was amazing, and I love the art in it as a kid. And I copied the art, and I didn't know it was J. Scott Campbell until I was older, like in high school. But yeah, but I don't know about Kenneth Rocafort and Wizard. but that's freaking awesome. I'll have to ask him. I asked Kenneth Rocafort to do a cover for Beef Law, and he said he's booked going into 2022. So we'll have to see. He told me to ask him later, but yeah, I would love a Kenneth Rocafort cover.
David Bro Hawk Williams says, "Draw faster" in all caps.
Yeah, where's those Bass Reeves pages? That's what I thought.
The redacted computer says, "Hi, Gabriel."
I say hello to you, redacted computer.
Ibex Universe says you should tweet all your art supplies. I want to snag it all. Be a superstar like you.
Okay, well, you're welcome to try.
Shadowhawk back says EVS uses mechanical pencils with blue leads. I don't remember the brand though.
I guarantee you he's using that lead that I said is dog shit just because that's how things are sometimes, which is hilarious because it works for him or whatever. But I don't like it. The Stadler lead, I find that it's hard to erase.
Manuel said, "What game?" I think you're talking about. He's talking about the Nintendo Power.
I don't even remember.
Or Wizard magazine.
It wasn't Wizard. It was
J. Scott Campbell, I think.
It was Nintendo Power, and it was like horror themed. And I remember there was this like scarecrow character with like a big switchblade hand, kind of like a Freddy Krueger. And I remember as a kid being blown away by the drawings and saying to myself, "A kid drew this?" I couldn't believe it because he was young when he drew it. I don't know how young, but he was young. You know, I know he's just a little older than me, and I'm 45.
Yeah.
I don't think. I don't.
45.
I'm 43. I was going to say I think he could be 45 to 50. My wife just corrected me about my age, so you're not 45. I'm not. Yeah, that's that's what I do though. I'm always trying to tell everyone I'm 45.
Okay.
I see a little error here.
David Williams said, "It ain't about me, Gabe.
Oh.
You're the one streaming as you draw. So draw faster. Chop, chop."
Deflect. Typical deflection.
Let's see.
Yeah, so I needed to. His pectoral muscle is too short vertically, so I need to come in here and actually fix it a little bit. It was too short.
TBG Animation says, "Remember NES Power Glove?"
Trash.
But remember that guy at that Jinx party was wearing it?
Yeah. Oh, something.
Hashtag Son of Liberty Radio. Liberty Radio.
Son of Liberty Radio.
Oh.
For Blurty?
Because I said the first part is Seno.
Sono. I didn't even read it. I could tell what it was.
That's hilarious. Sorry for ruining your name. He says the pens, brushes, and tools help the artist, but do not make you a great artist. I have lots of stuff and can only draw stick figures.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me of in the 90s. Basketball was everything. David can attest to this. He's from the 90s. You thought I was going to say he's black. David can attest to this. Everyone was at the basketball court in the 90s constantly. You guys have no idea if you're younger what a religion basketball was. And you'd always see the dudes. You'd always see the dudes decked out in the most expensive, like, Jordan gear and all this stuff. And like I remember a guy in a full North Carolina jersey and shorts and shoot, and the dude he couldn't throw a basketball into the ocean. It's terrible. Me and my brother still laugh about it when we remember. What were you laughing at?
I was just laughing because they're making fun of me saying Seno Flaberto. Dave Williams said, "Gabe, can you draw D's?"
D's? What's D's?
Look. D's nuts.
No, I told you I don't do pornography comics. I don't do degenerate comics.
Let's see. Okay, I'm only going to read a few more, then I go because the patient's calling me.
Oh, all right.
Let's see.
Gabe, who are you torturing with dad jokes? My wife is torturing me with wife jokes. The heck are you talking about? I only know one funny woman, and it's my daughter.
Hey.
So, well, my wife's very funny, but it's rarely intentional. So.
Yeah, it's not ever on purpose. Is it hard to draw and talk at the same time, or do you just get used to it? That's Angry Viking Veteran.
It's never been hard to draw and talk at the same time.
Many people can't do it though, right?
I am quite the talker. I have no problem talking
No.
ever.
I remember the redacted computer says, I remember my father getting me a gamepad that had an analog stick on it with 2 buttons and turbo features. I think it was the NES Advantage.
Right.
This was in the late 80s when I was only 5 years old.
Oh no, I wanted a NES Advantage really bad. I was born in 78. So by the late 80s, obviously I was about 10 years old. And I wanted a NES Advantage, but you know, we didn't have a ton of money. It was a single mom situation. And yeah, I wanted that. But yeah, I'm grateful for what I had. I at first had an Atari 7800. Everyone says the 5600. It's like, no, the one you never heard of. The Atari 7800. That thing was, it was fun when I had it, you know, not great, but you know.
I had an Atari that only had ping pong games on it.
So there you go.
Just like every ping pong game you could ever think of.
I like how it was like ping pong, hockey, soccer, tennis, and it was the same game over and over. What do we got?
I was trying to find the end to someone's joke on here.
Oh.
Let's see. Mighty Geek Studio says you get used to it. I think he's talking about streaming and drawing at the same time.
Oh, Barb Rogers, Little Miss Sunburn for $10 has a little happy fox or dog. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. If you guys want to know what I use for my anatomy reference, Mike Hawthorne, he's drawing Wonder Woman right now. I think he just took over in the last month or two. He has PDFs on his Gumroad. If you just like go to his Twitter, go to whatever. Mike Hawthorne has these amazing PDFs that you can download and reference for anatomy. And, you know, nothing is a substitute for life drawing class at your local university or community college or an atelier if you can find one. But, yeah, Mike Hawthorne, go find his anatomy PDFs. What do we got in the chat? What's up?
I'm just laughing because they're still making fun of Senna Flipperto. Minnie was casting a Harry Potter spell, I think. Senna Flipperto. I think it's funny. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I just, you know, I hate Harry Potter.
Oh, and then Son of Liberty Radio said, "Sound it out, young lady."
That's right.
Manuel said, "I used to play basketball barefoot back in the Philippines in the 90s. LMAO.
Right. Basketball was everything in the 90s. You don't even know. For those of you that weren't there, you have no idea. It was a cultural phenomenon.
Nana says, "Do you guys listen to Gabe? This dude can talk the lead off the wall."
That's right.
SDA said, "I got an NES for Christmas too." TBG Animation says, "I was born in 84. Little Miss Sunburn said, "Thank you." Someone else, "I got that for Christmas 88 instead of a Nintendo. Have to enjoy what you get."
Absolutely. Yeah. We got the Nintendo for Christmas at like 87 or 88 or something like that. My favorite games were I love Kid Icarus is what I called it. I guess it's Kid Icarus, but I called it Kid Icarus. And I just love the art in that. The game itself is actually not that good. The game is very hard. So hard, in fact, I never owned it. I just like played it at my friend's house. Oh, and I have this right here. Hold on. If you have the original Nintendo from 1988, then you have this from 1985. And it had every, this Metroid, all the enemies. It went over like 80 games. Oh, here it is. Kid Icarus. And the whole thing I liked about it was the monsters and how they looked in the manual, the cartoon drawings, not these video game drawings. The video game art was pretty cool. But I love this game. It's so hard. I never have beaten the first level. I didn't own the game, so I didn't play it very much. I just played it at my friend Sean Bandy's house. And then I would read about it in this. I would read this book over and over and over as a kid. But I've never beaten the first level. And I have one of those little tiny 8-bit Nintendos that they made like 4 or 5 years ago. And I still can't beat the first level. I finally beat the first level of Ghosts and Goblins about a year ago. I wasn't able to beat that for years. So, yeah. Did you play Punisher on the NES TBG? And no, but I heard it was rad. I said rad because I'm talking about the 80s, I think. Isn't that strange how the brain works? I need a drink. Hold on.
The Ragu Overlord says, wonder if there's a YouTube life drawing video streams. I'm in the most lockdown country, I think, on the planet. Where are you, Ragu Overlord? The only one I can think of is Australia or Austria.
He's in San Francisco.
Okay.
The most locked down place on the planet. Well, I would tell you this, Ragu Overlord. If you're locked down and that's what you have to do, then do it. But doing it on a screen isn't going to work. Part of life drawing, why you have to go there, is because the 3D of the body that you're going to see in the class, if you just look at magazine, like you go get Muscle Magazine or lingerie catalogs or whatever, and you try to do life drawing from that, it's good, but it's really inferior to the live model. And I found that through experience. I used to buy Muscle Mag all the time and draw from it. But since it's a photo, it's two-dimensional, and you're not seeing really around those corners and curves. So you're really just copying a drawing, even though it's a photo of a real person. And my art teacher in middle school pointed that out to me, Mr. Snideker. What a name. He pointed that out to me. He said, yeah, drawing from photos is really just drawing from another drawing in a sense, because it is two-dimensional. And when I took life drawing finally at the university, I couldn't believe what I could see about the ankle bones and knuckles and just the way all these folds and bones and muscles tuck into each other. That's so important to understand stuff like that. So if you can only do the internet, then do so. But if you can find a loose woman that will come to your house and pose nude, do so.
Doesn't that guy do that?
One of the Disney animators did that back in the 40s, and Walt Disney found out and hit the fucking roof.
Is it Doug Mankey?
Oh, no. I have well, first of all, don't whisper because they can probably still hear you. No, one of my friends does boudoir photography, and he's not shy about it. That's Tom Nguyen, the amazing inker. But he has I think he has an OnlyFans for those women. Like, because it's not porno, it's just, boudoir, so it's semi-nude or whatever. But, and only get a lady if you're of age. I'm not encouraging kids to do things like that. Honey, that reminds me. I need to get some nude models in here too. You just practice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In the chat, if you think she should let me have nude models in the garage, I want to see a bunch of ones. Come on, you said you were my fans. Now be good to me. And if you want to take her side, I want to see it too.
Nobody's writing anything.
They're all very smart.
We're staying out of this.
Stay the hell out of this thing.
Oh wait, here come the ones.
That's right. Stick together.
Someone said 23 or 23.
Yeah, men stick together, damn it.
Thank you, Frankie said my friend was a naked model for community college. One. Okay, Geek Avenger, you said 2. Thank you.
No, I'll tell you. I took that class over and over, and not for nefarious reasons, because you really do learn it amazingly when you take that class. And what was really good is the building where we did it was Guggenheim Hall at the University of Northern Colorado. Upstairs from us was the women's dance college. So we would get people with amazing physiques coming in. I got to make sure I have this right.
You got a super chat.
Oh, what is the super chat? Let me read. El super chat. How would you say super chat in Spanish, in español?
It would probably just be with an accent. Super chat.
Un super chat para $5. Gracias. That's great advice. The Ragu Overlord says, even after I banned him from the channel for 5 minutes. Oh, how kind of you. You're too kind. So it's settled then. I will have nude models in here.
Uh-huh.
No good?
No, sure. Try it. We'll see how well that goes.
Well, really, we had those dancer girls in college, and my goodness, do you learn? You really do.
Tell them the story, what happened to the one.
Oh, my buddy, I can't remember his name, but he was a short black guy, tough guy, and he was in life drawing with me. And a guy was in a robe when class started, and so that person who was the model was always there in a robe, like before we got there. And he said, "Oh, damn it, not a guy, And then that guy sat right facing my buddy, who I can't remember his name. We were just friends in that class, so it's not like we were best friends. But just imagine a little, like, stocky black guy, pretty good at drawing. So, "Oh, not a guy." And then that guy proceeded to sit right in front of him, spread his legs, and sat there with his hands on his knees, like looking right into my friend's soul. It was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing at him. So he had the perfect seat there. So
was that the same friend you would open his toolbox thing. So when you
No, that was Pat. Pat is the one that rode the motorcycle
Oh,
through the Home
yes.
Depot. I had a friend in college named Pat. I won't say his last name to protect him. And we were in art school, and he knew I worked at Home Depot at nights. And he said to me, he had a mini bike, like one of those 50cc bikes. And he said to me in class, he's like, what do you think they'd do if I drove my bike through the Home Depot? I said, I don't know. They'd yell at you. So I'm working the returns counter at night after school, and I hear ring, 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 and I look up, and there's a guy in a full ghillie suit, like the full sniper ghillie suit, head to toe. You couldn't see his face, on a 50cc bike, and he just drove down the front of the store and then out the lumber doors on the other end. If you've been to a Home Depot, you understand the layout. And then this little midget, like weightlifter guy, Carlos, that was his name. He looked like a little pocket Hercules, like a little Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was a really buff guy, but he was like, 5 feet tall. And he chased him in his pickup and like made a citizen's arrest. And my buddy got in trouble, and his mom made him send, we were in Colorado, his mom made him send the mini bike back to Illinois where he was from.
I didn't know that part of the story.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so Angry Viking Veteran says, why not draw your wife?
I do.
The Wonder Woman backdrop you had for a long time. Someone walked up.
I drew you in charcoal. It's right. It's right there. You were sitting at the kitchen table.
I don't remember that.
Well, you weren't even really paying attention. I was just doing it. I was just sketching.
And then they told me, let Gabe have a hobby.
It's just a sketch. You see? See? I drew her in charcoal at the kitchen table one day in like 10 minutes.
I don't remember that drawing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I have. So take that. Whoever you were, whoever you are.
Let's see. Oh, I guess in regards to your story about the guy in class, the redacted computer said, LOL, junk in the face.
Oh, yeah. It was a good time. That's what you get for being a hater.
TVG Animation says, I feel bad for the guy who's taking the knee attack in your drawing.
Don't feel bad for him. He hasn't paid child support in months.
Barb Rogers, Little Miss Sunburn says, nude Hobbit models. I like her idea.
Do whatever you want at your house.
No, these are models for you, honey.
No, we're not doing that.
The redacted computer says they would probably ghetto rig the bike and make it a rocket bike with a diesel fuel or with diesel fuel.
Who would do that?
I don't know what he's talking about.
We'll find out sooner or later.
Oh, and then he asked, I think about your friend riding the motorcycle. Did that person say, get to the choppa?
He should have. No,
Pat.
I think he got arrested, but he didn't get in any trouble. It was just had to pay a fine or something like that. So, yeah. But what a jerk, Carlos, my coworker, chasing him down. I'm sure that's against Home Depot policy to make a citizen's arrest.
John Del Arroz. John Del Rice.
John of the Rice.
Uh-huh. Merry Christmas, Gabe and Comicsgate.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Rice.
Nana says, Merry Christmas, chat. Drop them likes and subs.
Please do. And if you're out there and you pray for a father-daughter dance co-star Minnie. She had the sniffles, chill, fever. She got herself a COVID test. She's young. She'll be fine. She's feeling better today. She was feeling cruddy yesterday, real bad headache and stuff. But if you're in the praying kind, please do so that she'll be healed up soon. Because we need her to come back on the show. She and I have an exclusive interview with one Tom Taylor. You won't believe it. That'll be coming to my channel in the next couple of weeks. We got Tom Taylor for an interview, and it's one of the most amazing things that's ever happened. You're going to love it.
John of the Rice says, is this inking from scratch? I don't even see pencil lines.
This is inking from Blue Line pencil, but thank you for asking. That'd be something to ink from scratch. That's some Kim Jong-gi and Carl Kopinski shit, man. If you don't follow Kim Jong-gi or Carl Kopinski online, you're missing out on the show. My wife has bought me for my birthday. My birthday is always during San Diego Comic-Con, as is my wife's, that third week of July. And Kim Jong-ji, the great master, is always there. And he will sketch in your book, and watching him draw, it's like a printer. There's nothing on the page, and he just starts going. And it's truly amazing. It's truly gorgeous. So no, John Rice, this is sketched out on typing paper, drawn up better on my iPad, printed on large size paper, then lightbox traced onto a giant Bristol board. This is twice up. This is 18 by 24 paper because it's a double page spread. And this is my lowest priority right now. My priorities in order are Oath, Blood, and Bone. Philippe did convince me to shorten the title. He thought Oath of Blood, Oath of Bone was too long to make a pretty logo. And I couldn't, I tried to argue with him, and I figured I had to admit he was right about the logo, and I want the logo to be real catchy. But Oath, Blood, and Bone, that's my number one priority. I spent all morning writing for that. So I wrote I wrote a big part of issue. We're breaking the graphic novel into 6 20-page chapters, more or less. And we want to publish the whole thing as 120 pages. I think we'll do it. But, there's something to be said for the way Eric Canetti's doing things. And anyway, I wrote the first 20 pager. I've written the whole thing as a plot. And then the first 20 pager, I wrote about half of that in like actual Marvel style script. Marvel method is you don't describe panel to panel, you just describe the page. And then so he can do the acting for the characters, I add some dialogue, a little bit, not full dialogue, but I add like what I think is fun dialogue or just some character moments or stuff like that. I give him some dialogue to play with. And I also wrote a prologue last week that feels exactly like the Goonies and Ghostbusters and Stranger Things. It feels, and not that it's supernatural because it's not, but it feels like that adventure of the 80s and all that. So Oath, Blood, and Bone has come out, and he sent me a snippet of the art. Should I show a snippet of the art? Philippe got mad at me, but he was totally right. Not mad at me, but he's like, hey man, what are you doing? I send you a page, and then you show the whole page online. He said, just show a panel. He said, just show like a panel a day or something. So if you show a whole page, I have to draw so many pages so fast. So he sent me a snippet of a page today. I don't think he trusted me to have the whole page. But should I show it or not? It's a 1 in the chat if you want to see it.
Okay, well, they're typing their 1s and 2s. I'm going to say Merry Christmas, and I hope everyone has a wonderful time with their families, and Happy New Year. And where is it? And Geek Avenger, thanks for your message. It says, tell Minnie to rest. We will pray for her. Good. So I'm going to go take care of her. I'll talk to you guys later.
Wait, am I in frame? Is it shining?
Yeah, but it's out of focus.
Okay, how is it now?
You can't. It's not good.
How's it
you
now?
got to get that close, but you got to let it focus. There you go, right there.
Okay. There's a snip. Oh, went away. There's a snippet.
All right.
And for those of you that haven't seen Oath, Blood, and Bone, I'll go to another little thing he sent me. Here's some promo art. Is this in focus? I have to step over here, look at my camera to see if that's in focus. Yeah, so that's a little snippet of Oath, Blood, and Bone. Yeah, so I got to activate YouTube on my phone again so I can see the chat. So let me see, come back into this one, turn the volume down. I know a lot of people who would love what you're doing, Gabe. Barb Rogers. Well, Barb Rogers, then tell everyone. If you know people that would love it, then tell them. Don't hide it. Don't hide it from them. You know one person for sure that loves what I'm doing, and that's me. I'm having so much freaking fun. I'm so glad to be doing Comicsgate stuff. My only regret is that I didn't do it sooner. But you guys really are the best. You deserve the very best from me and the other guys. And actions speak louder than words. We're trying to deliver. You know that. And Philippe and I will not be late. We were known as what I call firemen at DC Comics. Every crap-ass deadline and horribly behind project they had, they would give it to me and Philippe because they knew we were going to get it right, high quality, and get it done fast. And I'm going to try and hold my phone up here again and not kick Lord Ragu out of the chat. And they would give us every crap-ass deadline. And that's another reason I had to leave. It's mostly this American way crap, just all the woking stuff. I didn't want to be part of that anymore. It's just... I never wanted to be part of it, to be frank. Let's see. Gabe, don't turn your wife into one of your characters without telling her. My cousin Nina is in this book. It doesn't look like her, but it's based on her. My cousin Nina tragically passed away last June. She was a beautiful soul, the most talented musician I ever knew. She died in a car wreck in May of 2020, single car accident. And, she was adopted. She didn't know she was adopted. My aunt and uncle never told her. She was the most talented musician and singer I ever met in my life. She was the leader of like choirs and stuff at churches here in San Diego. And she was in a few bands. And she started some like band for homeless people to help them out. And that band, I think, got to America's Got Talent, but it was after she passed. But yeah, Nina is a character in this. And in Oath of Blood, I have a character named Nina too. I told my aunt I would put, that as a tribute to Nina. I knew Nina when she was a little baby. And I remember I was excited to meet my girl cousin because we're all boys and my family's just all boys for whatever reason. And my mom told me my aunt was getting a little girl and they were adopting her. I was 7 or 8 years old. Nina's a little younger than me. She died when she was 36. I was 42. And I asked my aunt, "Oh, can I take the baby for a walk outside in her stroller?" And the adoption wasn't final yet. So me and my brother, he's a year and a half older. I'm like 7. My brother's like 8 or 9. We take Nina out on the front driveway and we crash the stroller and she falls out and hits her head on the sidewalk. And not badly or anything, but she gets a big like egg on her head, like a big bruise. And we come inside and my aunt is going hysterical, like, "They're not going to let us adopt her." My poor Aunt Martha. She's a nice woman, but she is known in the family as having a shrill voice. So when she gets mad at you or anyone, she has this thing where she goes, "My name's Gabriel," right? So if she's mad at me, she'll go, "Gabriel, Gabriel," or my brother, "Abraham." And we all like tease her and make that voice. Oh my God, Aunt Martha. So yeah, that was my cousin Nina. Poor Nina, rest in peace. So, but let me see what's going on here. Comicsgate is dissent in the comics world. The SJWs hate dissent as they cannot control people who dissent. Dissent equals diversity of thought. The redacted computer. You, my friend, are exactly right. SJWs, me and Shant were on this last night. Check out our Yippee-Ki Merry Christmas stream from last night on our great fun show, Double Impact. We discuss 80s and 90s action movies, but then we always just but we always segue into philosophy and stuff because Shant is quite the philosopher and I enjoy the intellectual conversation myself. But what we've come to understand, Shant and I made a video about it yesterday, said feminists are always ugly, is that the SJW religion is one of resentment and godhood. They have made themselves God, and nothing can exist without their permission because how dare it? Because they're God. So, they're the greatest. They deserve everything. They're entitled to everything, and they're entitled to never have their feelings or ideas challenged. And that is why they have to destroy things. But the real reason they have to destroy anything, they have to destroy beauty and success and all of that, is because they don't have it. And they don't have the ability to be disciplined enough to be dedicated to work for things. So when they see a beautiful woman, they see a successful man, they want to tear it down because how dare someone else have something and it not be them. And it really is this ideology of just worshiping themselves as gods. But check out my video, Feminists Are Always Ugly. I love that title. Feminists Are Always Ugly from yesterday. I go into it in detail. And then the video I did with Sean last night, we really talked about it a lot too. So let me check on the chat here. If there's a site which features all the fundraising, is there a site which features all the fundraising comics? If not, you guys should start a database. Make sure where creators are able to post links to their fundraising and links to purchase there, and it probably says comics. Go to comicsgate.org or CG Now. Look for those. I don't know if it's cgnow.net or cgnow.com. I don't remember. Michael Bancroft made that website, the CG Now one. And then Ethan told me that there's a comicsgate.org. So I hope I have that right. I'm just going off the top of my head. I can't really look through my computer because I was inking, guys. One individual I encourage everyone to look up is Yuri Bezmenov. He was a former KGB officer who pushed propaganda. What the hell was that? Propaganda. He later defected to Canada. He pushed propaganda and defected to Canada and then moved to the USA. Yeah, I think he's the one that has that famous speech where he's saying, we're not going to attack you with planes and tanks and fire a single bullet. We're just going to invade your colleges and your movies and your television and your news. And what do you know? Turns out McCarthy was right about everything. Academia and entertainment were completely compromised by the communists. And I hate to say, but in a way, we lost the Cold War as Americans. We did. Now, it ain't over till it's over. We're fighting back. But it's taken decades for people to wake up and realize just what the hell's been going on in our culture. You think things like Homer Simpson, all that, are benign. No, Homer Simpson, as funny as that is, and as much as I love The Simpsons, that's horrible and destructive to the family. Because that persuasion, if you listen to it long enough, it's like alcohol. It kind of doesn't matter if you think you can, oh, I won't fall for this. I know it's persuasion. I know it's propaganda. It doesn't matter. It's like filling a glass with vodka and then just downing it and going, yeah, but I know it's vodka, so I'm not going to be drunk. Like it's not up to you at that point. You know, you ate the propaganda, so you are now lobotomized by the propaganda. You know, like look at the new mask mandates. You know, I think it's, you know, crazy to mandate and all that. But you go to the store and on an animal level, not your conscious brain, but your animal brain, it feels scarier, right? And that's by design. You know what I mean? That is totally by design. So we're almost done. I'm going to go after I finish inking Goliath here. Yeah, that's a good place to end this one. So with Goliath, we just got to do his thigh, the heavy shadow on the thigh. No, we don't want a tangent. A tangent is when lines that construct things run into other lines, and then it makes a new shape. So if I put the shadow to end here, you have the panel border and you have the leg, and they all meet at this vertex here. You don't want to do that. So you want to come above it or below it. So I penciled it right on it. I'm going to come below it. That way we don't hit a point there, you see? Because if we hit a point there, we create a shape for the brain to imagine that meant something. So, and it doesn't. So there we go. So, and then he has a black stripe on his shorts, Goliath. So I have to make sure I ink that in. And one way to ink that in real nice is to put the line here and then put a silhouette line like that, like negative space. That way you can kind of make sure the fold keeps going. But I'll ignore it here because that's falling in shadow. And then it obviously will have like a seam there. I like to do 2 lines. Maybe it's a zipper. There's a fly on this. So we'll just put those 2 lines. And then it looks like it needed a little bit more there. Okay, and then not too many lines. You do too many lines, you break the shape. You know what I mean? Okay, so I did that, and I'll get the brush pen. Then I'll check back up on the chat, and then I gotta go. Baby. Don't be upset, girl. It's just how it goes. I'm out the dough. Weren't those lines from Snoop Dogg? I think that was "It Ain't No Fun If the Homies Can't Have None," which is a wretched song if you think of what they're talking about. Truly wretched. But as a 10th grader, it did make us guffaw and giggle. So yeah, so I wonder if Brohawk Williams is still around, mocking me for using pens. How dare you? I really like the pens. I think the brush is fantastic. I don't disagree. And I don't even consider this really a brush. I mean, I know it is, but it's a brush pen. I'll have to get back to my Kolinsky brush, but I don't think it has a great tip, and they're like $30 to $50. And Scott Williams, Jim Lee's inker, he's telling me, you know, he'll get a box of 10 of them. It's hundreds of dollars, and you know, 2 or 3 of them will have a great tip. That sucks, man. That's a low hit rate, but he's not wrong. In my experience, it's been a higher hit rate, but you know, maybe he's more sensitive because he's such an experienced pro. You know what I mean? So I'll tell you guys sometime about the education Scott Williams gave me on inking. My first illustration job for DC was 2009, a Superman Christmas special, illustrated by the great Nick Runge and written by my good friend Ari Kaplan. I always wonder if these people are still my friends now that they know I voted wrong. I would hope they would be sensible to understand that we're still friends. But whatever. Yeah, and I was working at Wildstorm full-time in the office coloring comics. Then I was coaching Pop Warner football for my son. He was 8 or 9. And then I was inking a Superman story at night. I was running ragged. So, yeah, it looks like we got that. It looks like we got it done, baby. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put a black background behind all of this. But first I'm going to have there's going to be negative space behind him, behind Maximilian that isn't black. It's going to be right here, like a big swoosh. But all up here is going to be black and then halo the whole thing. That'll take a while. I think I'm going to do that. I don't know. I'm going to put the swoosh in and some motion lines and see how it looks. Let me check on the chat. Maybe I'll switch the camera real quick and answer some questions. Hold on. Hold up. I'm coming over here. I'm pulling down the green screen, turning off that light, turning on these lights, and then switch the camera source to me, Cam and Mike. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? Oh yeah, it is me. Oh, my head. Okay, so I'm here. Been inking for you guys. It's been a lot of fun. Let me stop YouTube on my phone. All right, I'm going to check out the chat, and then I'm going to go. Did you guys enjoy that? Was that fun? Private chat. No, not private chat. Regular comments. Okay. All right, so let me go back. I haven't been looking at the chat because, my wife left. I was trying to finish that. Talking about brainwashed by Marxism, that's for sure. By Redacted Computer. Henry Bemer says it's not just universities. Absolutely. Henry Bemer says page looking killer. Thank you. The flags may be different, but the methods are the same. Victor Reznov by Redacted Computer. Yes. If Gabe has really learned the Kung Fu, he must develop speed, accuracy, and patience. Indeed. And I'm a little lower here because I usually have a stand I stand on when I do streams with Ethan, but my stand is over my drawing desk. I have my computer desk and my drawing desk. They're both standing desks, but they're a mic too short. Do you want to go into the back cave and see what's really back here? It's a full-on weightlifting set and stuff. I live in the garage, guys. Well, I don't live in here. I work in here. Hold on. I work in there. Sorry, coming back. I had to duck under the green screen. I work in there because my wife stole my office. Because of COVID, she works at home. So the office is over there on the other side of that wall. So I moved everything into the garage. But I get to weight lift all the time. It's right by me. So let's see. Oh, let me stop the virtual camera on OBS. Let me just stop OBS because it eats a lot of resources. Okay, Gabe, imagine a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone as a comedy. You'd not be able to understand anything. You wouldn't be able to know nothing, Stallone was saying. I should get with Frege because he can do a great Arnold, and I can't do Arnold. I need to figure it out, but I've been trying to figure it out for 20-something years. And because I can do a Stallone, you know what I'm saying? So I'm leaning into the mic there, covering my face. Hold on. I dropped my glasses. My glasses. Like Velma on the floor. Hold on. Let me use the flashlight on my phone to find my glasses. I don't want to step on them and then have to buy new glasses. Where are my glasses? Oh, there they are. Okay. All right. So let me check the new comments and then I'm going to go because we've been on the air for, we've been over an hour. LOL, Gabe is such a guy. You damn right. Good stuff, Gabe. Brother from another mother, Shanth is in demand. All right. Good. Yeah. Make sure you get Shanth's book. I'm going to put the link up for Oath, Blood, and Bone soon. I just need to color some of the art that Philippe has done so we have artwork on the website. So, but yeah, thanks for watching me. Thanks for hanging out. And I do a great Stallone, but do you know what I do really good? Hold on. You're going to love this. I need to get a drink first to clear my throat. You're going to love this. It's coming. Hold on. Hold on. Nobody cared who I was until I took off the mask. But he says put on the mask, right? I had Chuck Dixon on my channel last week, and I had him laughing so hard. I bought this mask just for that interview. And, oh, God, Gabe is... I'm not bald. I cut my hair short. I'm not bald. How dare you? How dare you? Those guys, Graham and those other guys, they're not bald, follically challenged. How dare you? Born in the darkness, molded by it. I thought it'd be funny. I told this joke before. If Bane was talking about mundane things, he's mundane Bane, and he was like, "Why do the nachos on the bottom never have enough cheese? If only there was a way to keep them all hot while you ate them." But Chuck Dixon loves my Bane. He loves coming on my show, so we're gonna have a lot of Chuck Dixon on here in the new year. But anyway, thanks for watching me, Inc. I got to get back to work. Maybe write some more script and stuff. And have a great Christmas, guys. Say a prayer for my daughter that she gets over her cold or throat or whatever it is. And just have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. I don't know if I'll be on streams before then or not. But if not, you guys are the best. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.